Hey, have you been having a hard time with your EBT card lately? We've heard about a lot of different people who are having issues with their card being denied at the checkout. So today we're going to talk about some reasons why that may happen and what you can do about it. And believe me, I know how awkward that can feel when you're at the check stand and you swipe your card and it doesn't work because I have been in that boat over and over and over again, and it sucks. So you're definitely not alone in this. And there are some reasons why it's more likely to happen to EBT shoppers than people who are using, say, traditional debit cards. The good news is that it doesn't always mean that you've lost your benefits or that they've been stolen or that anything is catastrophically wrong. Sometimes it's as simple as a technical issue or trying to purchase a restricted item. So, we're going to talk about a lot of those common reasons why this may happen today. Now, according to the USDA, the most common reason is that you're trying to buy something that isn't allowed under EBT rules. And there are a ton of different EBT rules, and some of those rules are evolving and will be changing in the coming months as well. But we've talked about that in other videos. So we do know that SNAP was only intended to cover food that is meant to be prepared and eaten at home. Items like vitamins, pet food, cleaning supplies, or hot deli meals are not covered. Now, there are some limited exceptions to this, like, for example, during disasters, USDA can lift the hot food restriction so that people can purchase hot deli meals. But most of the time, those things are not allowed. And I know that that can get confusing. And in fact, just the other day, I was checking out with my groceries and I was behind someone who's paying for EBT. And she was really frustrated that it kept getting denied, but she was trying to buy pet food for her pet. And that was why. And she didn't realize that that didn't count as a food item. So this is a really common hangup that can cause a lot of issues. Now, if you have a mixed order and you have EBT eligible and non-eligible items in your same transaction, usually that checkout system will just filter out what's EBT eligible. You can pay for that with your EBT balance, and then you'll just pay for the remainder with a different payment method. But if there are no eligible items included in your transaction, then it may just be denied outright. And it could be because you're purchasing something that isn't covered under the rules. Now, another common reason is not enough funds. This one is pretty rare because they've updated those systems so that when you're checking out, usually it'll run the card dry and then you'll have the remaining balance instead of just denying it outright. However, if you've been the victim of EBT theft, it's possible that you just have a $0 balance because what they do is they get a hold of your card number and your PIN, they clone your card, and then they completely drain the account when the benefits are deposited. So if you're expecting a deposit, you go grocery shopping and you get a denial, the first thing you need to do is check your balance. You can do that online through your state's official EBT app or by calling the number on the back of your card. But it's important to check that balance and see if your benefits have been stolen. Most of the options for replacement are no longer available, but knowing what happened gives you the ability to change your PIN and take some proactive steps to make sure that it doesn't happen to you again. We have received so many heartbreaking comments from people who have had their benefits stolen multiple months in a row. So it's important to make sure that you're changing your PIN frequently and taking care of your card, being careful with it so that those benefits are not stolen. Another common reason is system or card issues. And we've been seeing this more and more often lately. But a lot of times the problem isn't you or your card at all. It's the store's system or the government's EBT system that are causing EBT transactions to be blocked. Government systems sometimes go down for maintenance or updates. Those are often scheduled, but not very well advertised. So a lot of times people simply don't know until they're trying to buy something and then they can't. And then they may be told, perhaps by the cashier, that this has been going on for a while. Now, a lot of times we're seeing government systems go offline for scheduled maintenance as they're upgrading their systems. A lot of times that is scheduled in advance, but it's usually not very well advertised. So a lot of people don't know what's happening until they try to check out and they can't. So the best way to make sure that you're informed about those changes is to follow your state government office that sends those benefits. They'll usually post something about the outage there. Sometimes your local news outlets will report on it as well. But if your EBT card is being denied, especially if it's being denied at multiple stores in a short amount of time, and you know that there should be a balance there, it may be the result of an outage. It could also be the result of damaged or worn out cards that can't swipe correctly. If that is happening, then you will need to get a replacement card, and that can be a bit of a headache, but you can call the number on the back of your card for that kind of support. Another common reason is PIN problems. If you enter the wrong PIN multiple times, it can temporarily lock your card for security reasons. You should be able to reset it by calling your state's EBT customer service line. And just remember, for security reasons, never share your PIN with anyone, not store employees, not people who send you text messages, not people who call you, not even the government office. Do not give your PIN to anyone. The only thing that scammers need to be able to steal your benefits is your card number and your PIN. So it is very important to safeguard that PIN as much as possible. Now, another reason you may be getting denied at the checkout stand is due to fraud protection. States may freeze or block EBT cards if they detect unusual activity. Users can also lock their cards using state apps and tools, which, if you're sharing your card among your household and someone locks it and then you try to use it, you're not going to be able to do that because it will be locked. So you need to make sure that if you do have multiple people in your household who purchase groceries, that you're coordinating together on those security features. They are important and helpful to use to make sure no one outside your household is stealing your benefits. But I know it can create something of a headache if you are legitimately trying to buy food for your household and you didn't know somebody locked the card. Now, if the state stepped in to freeze your card, it could be because you had transactions in far distant places on the same day, which is usually the result of a skimmer or a scammer getting a hold of your card, or it could be that you had a lot of large out-of-state purchases. There are different reasons why that may happen. But if you think that that's happened to you, then you'll need to contact your local SNAP office right away to get that card unfrozen so that you can use it. If your card is declined, there are some things that you can do at the register. You can ask the cashier to try again. I know even with my own debit card lately, some of the payment terminals I've tried to use have had a hard time reading things, so sometimes you do have to try things again. You can try splitting the purchase between payment methods. You can check your balance. That's usually the number one thing that you need to do. And then, of course, if issues persist, you can call the number on the back of your EBT card as well. Make sure that you're keeping your card safe and avoid bending, scratching, or exposing it to magnets, because those are all things that can damage it. Now, of course, if your card is damaged, you can request a replacement immediately from your state EBT office as well. I hope that's been helpful to you. Don't forget to go check out our other videos for more ways to save money and get free stuff. I'll see you there.